Hey guys, what's up and welcome to a new NVIDIA daily update video. So today, as per usual, let's go over NVIDIA. The earnings just dropped. I'm trying to find here. We go talk about this earnings here as well. Earnings just dropped in NVIDIA up, about 3%. It was up a little bit more. Now it's giving back a little bit, but still hanging on to about a 3% gain. Not too shabby. We'll see how it goes and how the market overall reacts. And including tomorrow's opening as well, right? It's gonna be very important. To me, people get excited when a stock rockets or jumps down as the earnings comes out, because things can change pretty quickly, for better or for worse. Let the dust settle. It's important to understand. Let the dust settle. Let it happen overnight. Let it do its thing, guys. Let it do its thing. Let's see how it opens tomorrow. Let's see how the market reacts during the open markets. Very important. Too many people jump to conclusions too quickly, for better or for worse. But nonetheless, let's talk about NVIDIA. Let's talk about what's happening today. Again, take today's analysis, if you will, with a little bit of grain of salt, right? A little bit of grain of salt, because again, earnings is still kind of having that volatility movement in terms of what it actually wants to go, where it wants to go, how it reacts. Does it stay green? How does it react tomorrow as the market opens, where we get like the true first reaction on the open market for these earnings, etc. But overall, again, if you enjoy, don't forget to hit that like button. Again, this is not financial advice, and I'm not a financial advisor, and of course, if you enjoy my technical analysis, thoughts, and the charts updates, again, I do share my thoughts with my members every single day as the market is open. So definitely check that out. Link is down below in the description of the video. It's the top link of the description. You can join up if you wish. Just $3 a month gives you access to all my Tesla updates, broader market updates as well. SPY, Qs, VIX, different time frame analysis, options, flow, all that good stuff. Again, just $3 a month, guys. $5 includes NVIDIA. $7 includes the whole package, which includes private access to our Discord as well. We have a tier 3 chat room. I do chart reviews every Sunday, and all my tier 3 posts that cover essentially not Tesla and not NVIDIA across the market. So again, we'd love to have you there. But yeah, jumping into it, NVIDIA with a nice almost 3% on a day and giving us a little bit extra. Now it's about 2%. Again, it'll be all over the place. I don't want to focus too much on the after hours movement, but it's so far green, which is better than red so far. Let's see if it can hold that strength. So overall, the earnings are pretty nice, right? Overall, I mean, NVIDIA, the stock never misses earnings. It's not necessarily about whether or not the stock is going to miss earnings. It's about how it's going to react, right? How the stock or the company. It's about how the stock will react to the earnings. How good was it? Was it good enough? Was it is it a sell? That's kind of the main question in terms of the actual stock and the company. I don't think anyone's arguing this company is a phenomenal company. If you're thinking this company is not a phenomenal company, then I don't know what to tell you. But very, very nice earnings, pretty much beating across the board, right? Almost everything is just solid numbers, absolutely solid numbers. You really couldn't ask for too much better than that. But again, is that enough to bring the stock higher? Is that enough to save the market in terms of what is kind of showing weakness across the board, right? Like SPY, for instance, here, right below the 50 EMA, below 666, 667. Like SPY needs to get above those levels, or else the strength is just simply not there yet, right? So let's see, guys. Let's see how this overall how the dust settles, I guess you can say. But nonetheless, NVIDIA, the 1 hour really never gave us truly that breakout. We got almost a small little breakout you can see in the very, very morning, a bit of a fake out nonetheless, but you can see that final hour did actually end off with a bit of a breakout. But again, with earnings around the corner, or quite literally happening now, it's obviously anyone's guess in terms of how it plays out. So again, I want to continue letting the dust settle. I don't want to jump to conclusions. I don't want to be like, oh, it's up 2.7% now, or then it'll be up 2%, then it'll be up 3.5%. Maybe it'll go down. Maybe it'll even go into the red after. Like, we just simply do not know. So let's let the dust settle. But the overall expected move for NVIDIA was actually about a 7% move, right? It was about to $200 per share, to as low as about almost the low 170s. We're clearly in the middle. So at this moment, if this is all we get, option sellers are the only people winning right now, to be completely honest with you. I should have sold puts on this thing. I was going to sell puts. I should have sold puts. But nonetheless, I'm not even sure what to say, because I just need to see how dust settles. But arguably, if the stock holds green, it doesn't give up these gains. Let's say after hours or tomorrow at open, and for the most part holds. Worst case scenario, it bleeds back down, gap fills today's gap on this earnings gap up, and then it heads higher. But as long as tomorrow, right, the ideal scenario for NVIDIA is we hold green, obviously, and at the very least, the bullish worst case scenario is we fill this gap that we left out today. So we come back down to 186.5, retest that, but then fill the gap and head higher, hold the EMAs bullish as well, break out of this sort of, trend line that we obviously are seemingly breaking out. And the stock can absolutely see a nice little rally back, even up to $200 per share. That absolutely becomes a possibility, right? That's kind of that sort of bullish scenario, right? That's kind of that best case, if you will, scenario for the most part, right? You want to see continued strength tomorrow, right? The bear case, and the thing that can make things definitely more questionable, especially considering, which I'll go over very quickly in this video, the broader markets. There is weakness across the broader markets, right? The bulls need to use NVIDIA's momentum that it is so far, albeit not as crazy as maybe some people expected. Again, the market was pricing in almost a 7% move. So let's see if maybe we get a little more juice after hours, down the road here. But the ideal scenario is the bulls want to use this momentum from NVIDIA that it is trying to provide for the markets to fix the issues that are currently existing kind of sort of underneath the hood, if you will. For instance, let's take a quick look at SPY, right? You can see, for the most part, SPY has been turning the, exponential moving averages, bullish exponential moving averages. Every single drop was bought, right? Every drop is just bought, and, we go higher. Simple. Sometimes we go all the way down to the 50 EMA down here, the white line, and we just bounce off of it, right? But the problem you have to understand now is the market, it is showing weakness. And unless we can use NVIDIA's earnings so far, obviously, fairly positive reaction to propel the market higher, there's still issues, right? And the issues is the fact that you can see we have the exponential moving averages, the 921 bearish. Okay, I mean, that's, it's not the worst thing in the world. These things are, cross up and down more often than not. But arguably more importantly, we're turning what was a major support with that 50 exponential moving average, and now we're sort of turning it into a resistance. We closed down below it here. Now the last 2 days we're turning it into a resistance. We're also turning this sort of 666 region into a resistance, right? And now the 9 exponential moving average will be also arguably a resistance, right? This was area that we've had issues before, support and resistance. So this kind of 666, 667 level is an important level. This is a level the bulls on SPY they want to get above. Now, if the bulls can use this momentum from NVIDIA and make their way above again about 666 to 667 and start closing and holding above that, not just getting above that temporarily and then just again selling pressure coming in, all rips are sold off, that kind of mentality. But if instead we can actually get above that and start holding above that, showing strength above that level using NVIDIA's momentum, that would be bullish for the markets, right? We need to see at least strength above that range for us to start considering some, bullish scenarios. Because otherwise, if we continue just rallying into this sort of vicinity right here and continuing to reject, that will open up, a bull trap into another leg lower down to about 650s, potentially even all the way down to about the 640s, right? Mid 640s roughly. Those would be the levels to watch for further downside. And that's what the bulls want to avoid. Again, the main question now is just going to be, can the market use NVIDIA's so far fairly positive earnings reaction as that fuel to fix what, could be still a problem across the market, right? Kind of the same thing on the Qs here, right? Also sort of treating this 50 exponential moving average as a resistance. The Qs also need to get back above these levels. And even more ideally, the Qs want to get back above 612 to 613, even better. And then that will be a bullish breakout and the market can continue on its way up higher. But again, if the market cannot use NVIDIA's earnings here as a propellant, we continue facing problems and we continue essentially seeing the market going from buy any dips to now selling any rips. You know what I mean? That's what needs to be avoided. Let's see if tomorrow that can happen. Tomorrow will be a big day as the market opens, as NVIDIA's opens. We kind of, the market really digests this earnings and what it really wants to do. And tomorrow's candle closures and especially Friday and really just, again, the last 2 days of this week will be very, very telling as to the direction the market most likely wants to go in next. So let's continue monitoring that, guys, right? That's kind of that broader market overview, right? NVIDIA, you can see, 195 is an area of resistance. So that is a level to break. Above 195, we can see about $200 per share. But, again, what NVIDIA does not want to do, which I mentioned the bull case scenario where, either we just continue with strength higher right away or maybe a small little gap fill and then we head higher, both bullish. The bearish thing is, again, we open up at, whatever area that we open up here, let's say 193 roughly, give or take. But then we sell off. But not only do we sell off, we actually close red. If we close red tomorrow off of this earnings, that would be very concerning. Extremely concerning, I would argue. So that's something the bulls definitely do not want to see. So let's continue monitoring and let's continue to seeing how this actually plays out. Let's see how this actually, market reacts to it tomorrow, guys. But all in all, that's the main thing I got for you. So let me know what you think. See you tomorrow. Peace.